The purpose of this training is to review the accessibility map and campus viewer applications within the Lionspace FIS program. We're logged into Lionspace FIS, and I have 4 applications available. You may have more or less, but in this training we will cover the accessibility map and the campus viewer. If you need training for subsequent applications, that will be covered in other recordings. So let's click on the accessibility map application. When the accessibility map loads, we're going to take a minute to walk around this screen because the screen is exactly the same in this application as well as the campus viewer application. So throughout this program, you're going to find these menu buttons. They're called Hamburger Menus or Actions Menus or triple bars. We'll stick with the hamburger icon. This one at the top left, it toggles on and off the Details, Layers, and Legends tab on the left of the screen. Next to that, you have your search bar. You can click into the search bar and type a keyword. You can also hit this asterisk to narrow down to specific types of things you want to search for. If you move over to the top right of the screen, you have a home icon, which will take you home in Lionspace FIS. Recommended to use this instead of the home in your browser, which may take you somewhere else entirely. Next to that, you have a question mark, which is a robust help document, and then your user info. Below that, you do have a zoom in and zoom out and a location finder available within the map. You can also use the click wheel on your mouse, assuming that you have one, to move in and out of the map. Down at the bottom, we have another hamburger menu. Within this program, at this menu, you will see a share icon and a print icon. We will visit those in a few minutes. On the top left, you have details, layers. Within layers, you will see that all layers are selected automatically, but you can deselect them if you like. Your base map, the default is the world street map, but you can also change that if you like. And then your legend will show you more about what you're viewing in the screen to your right. So let's go ahead and zoom on in towards University Park campus. We do have all campuses loaded into this program. And as we get closer, you'll see that my legend on the left-hand side is going to start populating with information that's within the map on the right. And so as I move in here, we're going to see that we have accessibility routes and elevators and building access indicators. And so let's say I'm going to get down here into Pond and Whitmore Lab. And so right here, I've got a nice view of the accessibility routes between these two buildings. And so if this is what I came here to find, I can then come down here to my hamburger button at the bottom, and I could either click share, and then I have a shareable link to send this out to whomever I want to, or I can click print and generate a PDF version of what I'm seeing in my screen here that includes a legend. So let's give this a shot. We're going to give this a descriptive title because it is going to show up at the top of the printout. And then we're just going to click OK. And so that's going to start generating. You can see down here at the bottom where it says creating printable map file and dismiss. You can hit the dismiss button if you want to try a different screen or go somewhere else. Otherwise, once this is finished, it's going to say download right here. And within Chrome, your downloads will show up at the bottom of your screen. Within Firefox, they will show up as pop-ups, so you may need to enable pop-ups within your browser for this site. So now my download is here. If I click download, here it is at the bottom. If I click on my PDF, I now have a nice printable version of the accessibility routes between these two buildings. And the legend on the right-hand side explains what I'm seeing on the left. Now you can save this, you can print it, etc. There's download and print, or if you want to change it, you can simply just close this out. So if you wanted to get more into the view, you could just hit your X here, maybe zoom out one click, and then try it again. If you hit dismiss here, that'll go away. One other thing you can do within Accessibility Map is get a little bit of information about the buildings. So if I click on Pond Lab, and then I switch over to my details panel on the top left, I'm going to see the building and some basic information about it, including the ADA compliance score for the building. So that is the gist of the accessibility map. Very easy to use and simple way to gain accessibility map information about your campus. So I'm going to go ahead and click the home icon and go back to Lionspace FIS Home. And from there, we're going to click Campus Viewer. So once Campus Viewer loads, we already know our way around the application. This time, let's try to do a keyword search for a building. So if I type in Buki, and then I hit my Enter key, it's going to start looking for all things Buki. And it's going to come up with a couple options. I've got a building level selection, or I can go straight to a room. There's 5 choices here, or I can click Show All if I want to pick from the 324 available choices, which may seem like a lot, but you got to remember that that's going to include every single corridor and telecom closet and everything else. So let's go ahead and click on the building of Buki, and it's going to take us right down to a very similar view to where we just were within the accessibility map application. But there's one very important difference. Up here at the top left, you've got a floor selector. So if you click on that, you can then select whichever floor you would like to see. Let's try floor 2. And we now have a detailed view of the second floor of Buki with a color-coded legend. So let's click on the legend up here on the top left and see what it is that we're looking at. So down here we can see that our rooms are classified by type within the map view on the right-hand side. So if this is what you were looking for, you wanted to, see what's going on the second floor of Buki, or perhaps share this with someone, you can then come down to your Hamburger menu. We do now also have a Zoom key available. We've got that same share link, which will give you a share option that will take you right to the second floor of Buki. Or we can try the print again. And it's the same exact functionality. You're just getting more detail in this. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my title and click OK. And this is similar to the traditional block plans that were available in the old FIS system, except obviously it's got more detail. And if you want to look at individual rooms within this program, you can actually click on the rooms. So while this map is generating, let's click on 214. And then we're going to come over to our details view, and we can see the details of room 214 Buki. Since this is a classroom, we've got a picture of the classroom. We've got lots of good information about that room. If this was a room that had employees assigned to it, if I click down here on employees, I would get the list of employees that are assigned to that room. Obviously, we're not going to see any because it's a classroom. So if I go down here and I see my printable map file is ready, so I can click download and then hit my PDF. And here we go. I've got this nice, again, printable, shareable, downloadable version of this map. It does have a legend on the right-hand side that tells me what I'm seeing on the left. I'm going to close out of here and close this, and that is the basic gist of what is available within the Campus Viewer platform. I'm going to go ahead and click Home and go back to Lionspace Home.